Hello, my name is Joe. Welcome to my channel. I talk about finance, financial development, that is financial growth, how you can grow yourself. I also talk about relationships, how you can be, in a healthy relationship with your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and anybody who else matters to you. Today I'm gonna talk about money. Today I'm gonna talk about finance. Why you can be rich in our country, Kenya. Why is it that Kenya, at the current moment, the financial status that we are right now, you have chances of you being rich? Do you know why? Kenya and majority of West, or rather in Africa, you have chances of becoming rich. Reason number one, Kenya is a developing country. Everything is developing. That means everything, if not that thing, is not that expensive. Whereby you can be able to acquire land at a subsidized cost. You can be able to get that, housing at a subsidized cost. You can start a business. We are living in a country that it's a consumer country. Actually, when I was looking at the financial status of our country, we are imbalanced. We import more than we export. That means the manufacturing industry is not explode. That also means that in issue to do with consumption is very high. People receive, we receive a lot of things from outside, meaning the consumer market is very much ripe and ready. Last time I was walking, or rather I was traveling from Nakuru to Nairobi, our capital city, and I saw a lot of development. We are investing on infrastructure, the roads, the rails, the air, and everything. That means we are still developing. And I was interacting with a certain white guy from Norway, and he was telling me, "Hey Joe, why do you think I never invested in Norway? Why do you think I'm in Kenya?" I asked him, "I don't know, maybe you want to diversify, maybe it's better here. Maybe it's a holiday home." He told me, "No, it's not a holiday home. I don't have a home in Norway. I want to live here." His wife is a Kenyan. So I asked him, "Why are you investing here?" He told me, in Kenya is a developing country. With a mere $300,000 in Kenya, I can be able to buy land, build a home, and probably start a very good business. Because an average price of a land here is very cheap compared to outside. So I said, or rather I asked him, "So is this the reason as to why you're investing here?" He told me, "Yes, your country is developing. The same class, you're in the same class with countries like Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam." And that thing really caught me with the surprise, and I was like, "Really?" Yeah, he told me, yeah, that's it. That's where you people are. But you cannot see it. You're programmed to think like you must be out there for you to be, to be good financially. Somehow it's true, your chances of you getting a job outside our country is much higher compared to here. But as much as that, so if you're a guy who is tuned to development, to manufacturing, to production, to mass production and growth yourself, it's here. You people, you're complaining of having a lot of graduates who are jobless. Those are very, very many people with great brains who can come together. If you did IT, if you did something like construction, strategic planning, you need to come up with something. You need to develop apps. You need to also to talk of, even if it's real estate. I know you may not have money to do real estate as early as you can, but you can venture into a place whereby you can decide to be an agent. People call them realtor outside our country. We are living in a country that you can't develop yourself. You are living in a country whereby you can grow with the country as it grows. Because if you do not, he told me that if you do nothing today in your country, 25 years from now, you will not be able to buy a land in Kenya. You will not be able to have a business in Kenya. You know why? Everything will hype. Land price, building costs, you should do with labor, even actual thing, labor. It will be very high. So I asked him, "What do you think I can do?" And then he told me, "Start producing anything. Do anything." I asked him, "What? What do you mean I produce anything?" He told me, "You can even produce toothpicks. You can even produce tissue paper. You can start producing anything." But I said, unless I do that illegally, so no, you don't have to do it illegally. You can, if you have good brains, you can partner someone who has money, and then you sell the idea, you produce on a green contract. And I said, that's a good idea. But again, how can I convince someone who has more money than me and say, "Okay, hey, you know what, sir? I think I have this idea, blah 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 blah. I think you can invest on me. I think maybe you can invest on you. Have a business." And then, like, because this is the dream I'm having. He said, yeah, it's not a simple thing, but in anything in life you try. You try this, you try the other, fails or peaks. It all depends. It's better than doing nothing. That was a big idea. So to you people, what I can say, even you people, you are outside who, you in developed country, with 100,000 in a developed country, let's take an example of Sweden. If you have $100,000 in Sweden, you may not do a great thing. It may not be that such amount, it's not a big money. Actually, I think an average rent in America is $1,200. That is equivalent of 120,000. Do you know how much you can do with that amount of money? Sometimes it's good to go there where it's developing rather than being where it's already developed. For you to be called a millionaire in America, it takes time, it takes effort. By the time you be a millionaire in America, you're already a billionaire in our country. You own everything. Land, good cars, sports cars, you've got that good piece of land, a big one indeed. So I think it's more of mentality more than what the reality on the ground. What you focus to do is what matters a lot. So in our country, you can start anything. You can do anything. You can start producing. You can value add on things. For instance, maybe let's say a meat vendor, commonly known as butcher in our country. You can be able to come up with a different thing than what people do. Just a mere fact, they just cut the beef or the mutton or the whatever. They chop it and then they fungia you and then you leave. Okay, what you can do a different thing. You can start to process the meat. You can start to package the meat to increase what we call the shelf life. Rather than refrigerating the meat, you can chop it, you package it, and then you can be able to supply it. It doesn't have to be a supermarket or a hypermarket. You can be able to do something called the deliveries. You can also introduce something called the royal customer package, whereby you can decide to invest in something like, let's say, you say like, okay, if you're a royal customer, you can be able to maybe deposit like 30 shilling a day, and you can be able to get maybe, let's say, your meat of, let's say, worth 300 with less money, because you are royal, because you do your deposit, let's say 20 shilling in a day, and in future you can come and get it. And we also give you a package of your family. We can do package of couples. We can do package. Let me tell you one thing. In the next video, that's what I'm gonna talk about. I have not exhausted everything in that area. I actually have that thing. I've written it somewhere. I cannot remember it. Someone told me to talk about it, so I'll talk about it in exclusive, so that maybe to understand what I'm trying to bring on board on how you can be able to venture into meat selling. But you do it differently, not this issue of, okay, you have this and this and what this and this is, but you do it differently. So you guys, each other to the next day. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.